Glenn, this is Hewlin Robertson, giving my third installment, my video blog on Chapter 2. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about and I thought about was culture is not synonymous with race or nationality. I thought that was very interesting because I remember growing up believing that whites or Caucasians had a different culture than what I was growing up and involved in. And one of the reasons is because when I watched TV, I would watch stuff like Andy Griffin and things of that nature, and I would watch Andy Griffin and things, and there would never be any African Americans in those television series. And so I began to think and believe that there was a separate culture from my culture, that was a white-only culture, up until the late 70s when shows like Good Times and Sanford and Son and things of that nature that I began to see cultures similar to my culture, not so much economically, but at least people of color doing things. And so that's why I think that a lot of people, at least my generation, considered there was separate cultures. I went to an all-black elementary school, so and all black teachers. Then I went to an all white school with all white teachers, and teachers did not live in my neighborhood, so I assumed that they had a separate culture, not just lived in a separate place, but had a separate culture. And so culture did seem to be, although we argue the point, culture did seem to be race driven. The other thing I wanted to talk about was I think it's pronounced acculturation. And what's interesting about that one is I remember the Wycliffe ministry. It's a Christian or gospel ministry, and that ministry is designed to drop missionaries into third world countries, where that missionary would have to learn first the culture in which they have been delivered to or dropped into, then learn their language, and then after that take the Bible and translate it into their language, into the native Indians' language, so that they would understand the Bible. And I remember sitting with a few people that had done that. They were older than I was. I was at a banquet, and just realizing that a woman, it was two women, had dedicated 20 years of their lives to learn the culture, and it was in South America. Learn the culture, learn the language, and then translate the Bible into their language, so that they could further the gospel. And I thought that was wild, and I think that would fit under I want to say acculturation or acculturation is the word. Those are the two points that I thought of through our discussion and in chapter 2 of our book.